Good morning, everybody. What a great turnout for two reasons. One, I wasn't quite sure what to expect at 10 a.m. in Las Vegas. And also because most of you, at least, didn't know why you were coming here or who you were going to see. And we do have something very special for you. I'm Lon Helton. I'm the editor for a country radio and music industry trade publication called Country Air Check. And I also host a countdown show for Westwood One called Country Countdown USA. And I've had the honor to be at a few of these milestone events for George Strait. And that's certainly what we have for you here today. Welcome to everybody, too, who's watching online. We are streaming this. And I would like to invite everybody who's already online with us to go to their Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, tweet out to all your friends. Let them know that they can get online, georgestrait.com, and watch this. And, of course, you can be part of the conversation as well if you just write us a question for George at hashtag Strait To Vegas. Reminder, too, I'd like to ask everybody, just turn off your cell phones, unless, of course, you have a George Strait ringtone, and then feel free to leave them up. As I mentioned, you didn't really know who you were going to see this morning until, of course, you walked through the great George Strait experience on the way in. And to kind of help set that up a little more, as if you needed a little primer on the King, here are a few Strait facts.
All right, kids, your attention, please. I'm Stormy Warren. Welcome to class. This is George Strait 101. Just for reference, this is the indisputable king of country music, George Strait. Just over a year ago at AT&T Stadium in the heart of Texas, over 104,000 people packed this stadium for an unforgettable night of music, capping off his historic The Cowboy Rides Away tour. Record-setting ticket sales, less than an hour this place was sold out, breaking the record for an indoor live concert performance, a record previously held by the Rolling Stones. No one in attendance or the millions who watched on TV will forget that night, including his friends who shared the stage with the King: Martina McBride, Faith Hill, Vince Gill, Sheryl Crow, Eric Church, Jason Aldean, Kenny Chesney, Miranda Lambert, Alan Jackson, and Ray Benson. But long before George put a cap on his touring career, he carved a swath through the music industry, a path decorated with staggering milestones. How about 40 studio albums, including compilations and holiday records, nearly 70 million albums sold, over 60 number one hits, over 80 top 10 hits. Songwriter, entertainer, artist, rodeo cowboy, sport fisherman, golfer, and yes, even movie star. How can we forget Dusty from Pure Country? An album that resulted in one of the most popular and successful movie soundtracks in movie and music history. Pure Country soundtrack sold over 6 million copies. Don't take my word for it. Take a look.
You know, I was walking through the offices at MCA Records looking at the gold records on the wall, thinking, man, if I could just have one of those. You know, it's just a dream. Every time I go in the studio, I want to make the best album that I've ever done in my life. So you always, are searching for those songs to try to make that happen. I didn't want to just have one record or two records, I wanted to be making records now like I am, 30 years from then. It's not a formula that I can, say this is how you do it. I just know a song that fits me when I hear it.
To present the Special Achievement Award to George Strait, here is Alan Jackson.
Academy of Country Music wants to honor Mr. George Strait with this Gene Weed Special Achievement Award for 50 number one singles, and great songs they were. Congratulations.
Those songs that I've recorded over the years, they're a huge part of me. They are me. That's what I do. That's what I've done since forever, it seems like, so they're who I am. I've been fortunate to have a lot of great things happen in my career and been able to play some big shows. Who gets to do that? You know, you can't take that for granted. I mean, that's just so special. And it's hard to describe to anybody what that feels like because it's just big. When I'm sitting in my old rocking chair, can't hardly move around or anything, you know, years from now, just, you know, play me that live record of somewhere, you know, where I can hear that crowd again, because it's like nothing else. You know, I had my heroes, Merle Haggard, George Jones, Bob Wills, Conway, you know, all those guys. And to think that somebody looks at me the way I looked at those guys, you know, it makes me feel really good.
The entertainer of the year is George Strait.
George Strait.
My buddy George Strait. Check yes or no.
Troubadour. George Strait.
George Strait.
George Strait.
And the CMA Award for Entertainer of the Year goes to George Strait.
What? Oh my gosh. Never in a million years. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you to the CMA. I mean, this blows me away. I just can't not believe it. Thank you so much. This means the world to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
2 words to define George Strait: consistency and integrity. Not only as just an artist and an entertainer and a songwriter who has amassed virtually every award imaginable, many numerous times, including his 2006 induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame, but also consistency and integrity at home as a father, a husband, and a family man. King George may have hung up his bus keys for good, but that does not mean he is done playing country music. He loves it way too much. And that's why we're headed straight to Vegas.
How about that career? Far, far from over. And he's done pretty well for a guy who was thrown out of the very first band he was in back when he was in the Army in Hawaii. The guys in Ramblin' Country threw him out because they didn't think he was country enough. George Strait is among the most revered artists in Nashville. Won his first Entertainer of the Year award in 1990. He won again last year, 2014, unequaled. He's also the rarest of breeds as a recording artist. His entire career he spent on MCA Nashville. And with our first little bit of news this morning, please welcome the president of Universal Music Group Nashville, Cindy Mabe.
So as Lon have said, in the history of American music, there will only be one George Strait. He's a true music icon. From movie star to entertainer of the year, his music has created the soundtrack of our lives. No artist has done more to define country music in the modern era better than George Strait. With 68 million albums sold worldwide, 60 #1 hits, 83 CMA nominations, the most in CMA Awards history, it is my distinct honor to announce that the King is back, releasing new music with MCA Nashville. His new album, Cold Beer Conversation, will be released this Friday, September 25th, exclusively with Walmart and Apple Music. The album can be pre-ordered today. Produced by Chuck Ainley and George Strait for George Strait Productions, featuring 13 songs from a who's who's list of top songwriters, including Jamie Johnson, Randy Clark, Shane McAnally, Keith Gaddis, Buddy Cannon, Ben Hayslip, Bill Anderson, Bubba Strait, and the incomparable Dean Dillon. The first single, Cold Beer Conversation, will go to country radio tomorrow. And as if that weren't enough, huge news today about George Strait, I'm happy to introduce Louis Messina of Messina Touring Group to give you a little bit more.
Thank you so much. There's something about coming to a George Strait press conference. It means something really exciting is going to happen, and that makes me and everybody's so happy. We've had a bunch of these press conferences throughout the years because George has always been such a trend maker. Back in the late 90s, the George Strait Country Music Festivals for 4 consecutive years, touring stadiums throughout the United States and Canada, and launching careers of Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, Dixie Chicks, Kenny Chesney. George was the first country artist to ever do that. And then years later, after selling out arenas throughout North America, we launched Cowboy Rides Away, which was historical. I think it was like 1,200,000 people attended over a 2-year span with George Strait with the Cowboy Rides Away tour. And a tour that was just that. It was a Cowboy Rides Away, meaning like not a retirement tour, but it was just like, I'm riding away from touring for a while. But he always said that I want to create new music. And I want to tour, and I want to play live. And this stuff doesn't mean the end of me being on stage. As a man to his word, we're coming straight to Vegas. But today, we're here in Vegas, and it's all about events. And what town is better than to have another great event in Las Vegas, who's hosted so many historical entertainment events? And what other place to have this event at the new Las Vegas Arena? So at this time, I'd like to introduce to you the Senior VP of the Las Vegas Arena, Mr. Rick Arpin.
Thanks, Louis, and thank you all for coming. We're excited to have you here in Las Vegas. Welcome, and I can promise you we'll be welcoming you back many times. It's an exciting time for us here in Las Vegas. It's an exciting time for those of us who, in this community, have been watching a new building come out of the ground, the new Las Vegas Arena, and a lot of people have been asking me what's going to be in that new building. And today we continue to answer that question, and we answer it in a big way with the undisputed king of country, George Strait, one of the first entertainers who will perform in our new building, the Las Vegas Arena, next April. George has played an important role in our city's entertainment history, and we celebrate today as a city to welcome him back. We can't wait to have him in our arms again. Today I speak to you on behalf of an all-star team that's building the Las Vegas Arena and developing it and will be operating it. I speak to you on behalf of our world-class corporate entertainment group at MGM Resorts. I speak to you on behalf of our amazing partner, AEG, without whom this vision would not be a reality. And for this event, I speak to you on behalf, and I thank the Messina Touring Group, AEG Live, Louis and Bridget for leading this effort. And most importantly, I want to thank George for his trust. George and his wife, Norma, are with us today, and they've put our trust and confidence in us to host this event and to host their live performances. That stamp of approval is worth so much to us. It's a validation that the hard work we've been doing is worth it, and that we can indeed expand the entertainment footprint of this city, again, the entertainment capital of the world. And with the agreement we have with George, Las Vegas visitors and locals in the community will get a chance to see him multiple times in a legendary venue, soon to be take its place among the world's best, the Las Vegas Arena. Collectively as a group, it's a chance to do something very special, and we're very excited to entertain a global audience with George Strait and the Las Vegas Arena. We're so excited for next April. We can't wait. George, we love you, and you're going to be amazing. Thank you all again for attending, and I'll turn it back over to Louis.
Thanks, Rick. I had the opportunity about a month ago to tour the new arena, hard hat and all, and it's it's beautiful. It really is. I've never seen a 19,000 seat arena feel so intimate, and it does. It felt like I was in just a theater. So I was telling George about it, and he is so excited about this. Throughout my 25 years of working with George, having the honor and privilege of working with him, he never ceases to amaze me every time. He just raises and raises and raises the bar. For the final, Cowboy Rides Away show at AT&T Cowboy Stadium, over 104,000 in attendance, an indoor record in the history of music, not just in the United States, but throughout the world. So I'm happy to announce an exclusive worldwide engagement here at the new Las Vegas Arena. And it's really special to me because the last 2 years, life being on the road without George Strait has been very empty for me. But anyway, at this time, I do want to announce the 4 dates that are going on sale starting, I think, this Friday as far as pre-sales. That's April 22nd and 23rd of 2016 and September 9 and 10. So everyone will have a great opportunity to visit one of the most historical shows and events in the history of not only just country music, but all music, and that's Mr. George Strait. I'd like to have this opportunity to introduce my friend, multiple Entertainer of the Year, both the CMAs, ACM, Grammy winner, movie star. People call him the King of Country. I call him King Dude because there's nobody cooler than him. So at this time, I'd like to introduce my friend, Mr. George Strait.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rick, Louie, Cindy, Lon. Thank you all very much. What an introduction, right? It's amazing to hear all that stuff and think that I've been around that long. It just doesn't seem like it. It's just, I'm so happy to be here to announce this. And I've said all along, I wasn't going to tour anymore, but I also said that I wasn't retiring by any means, and I still wanted to do some dates. So after we did the last show at the AT&T Center in Dallas, we worked really hard getting the live album out and the CMT special and those kind of things. And then I went in the studio and cut a new record. And I had some time to write with my son and some other writers, Dean and Keith. And so it hasn't been all, just time off. I've been working a little bit here and there, and I'm really, really proud of this new album that's coming out, Cold Beer Conversation, and the title single, Cold Beer Conversation. I think it's a great record. I always say this, I think it's one of the best records I've done. I always shoot for that. You saw me say it earlier in the deal there, but it's true. I mean, you got to go in the studio thinking that way. And so I'm very excited about that. And I'm also very excited to be coming back out and playing for the fans out there. This is really, I'm looking forward to it so much. It's been, come April, that'll be about a year and 10 months, maybe, something like that, since I've performed with my band, other than award shows and things. So it's going to be exciting for us to get back out there again. I'm looking forward to singing those songs that I love so much, and haven't done them in a long time. So I'm really, really looking forward to it, and I really want to thank the MGM for having me here and being able to play in the new Las Vegas arena. I'm going to go look at it tomorrow. I hear it's just unbelievable, and I can't wait. And also want to say that we're going to have Casey Musgraves out with us on the Vegas dates also, so that'll be exciting for a lot of people too. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody for coming out and being here and listening to our big news. Thank you.
And we do have time for a few questions, right? You're up. We are streaming, so please come to the center here, the mic, so we can get you on the mic and ask George.
George, Bobby Cass from Vegas Insider Daily.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi. What was the inspiration for this album? Did you write the songs for it? And why do you think it's the best thing you've ever done?
Well, I always think that. I don't really have to be inspired. I mean, I'm inspired to make music all the time. There was no particular inspiration for this record other than going out and making the best record that I can make. I wrote, there's, I think, 3 or 4 things on the record that I wrote, with Bubba, some with Keith Gaddis and Dean Dillon and some other people. So you'll just have to get it and listen to it. It's a great record. You're welcome.
Please come up.
Hi, everyone. Katie Cook from CMT. Congratulations.
Hi, Katie.
Very
Thank you.
exciting. George, You've been so busy. You had that huge record-breaking concert in Dallas and the DVD and the special, and then you went right into writing and recording a new album. Have you had any time off from the creative process? I thought you wanted some time off. It doesn't sound like you've had any.
Well, I mean, it did take a little time to do all those things, like you say, but I have had plenty of time off, and I've been working on my golf game, and so that stuff, a little bit of fishing here and there, but music is always, if I'm making a record, it's the most important thing at that time, and I'm always thinking, trying to find song ideas. I've always got that in the back of my mind because there's going to be a future project down the road, and so just, I'm not going to change. That's who I am. That's who I've been since the 70s.
Your fans appreciate it.
Well,
Thank you.
I appreciate them.
Thanks.
Thanks, Katie. We have time for a couple more things. Please come on up to the microphone. Tell us who you are. And
Mr. Strait, Sean McAllister, Fox 5, Las Vegas. Welcome to Vegas, first of all. You've performed here several times over many years.
Yeah.
What is it about the Las Vegas community and our city that made you want to do this engagement of shows here?
Well, Las Vegas has been a part of my country music career. I mean, I've played in Vegas pretty much my whole touring career in different places, and most recently here at the MGM in the Garden. And so it's fun to play Vegas. I mean, it really is a lot of fun. The crowds are great, and they come from all over the place because there's so much to do here. And so a concert is kind of a bonus. But, I just, it kind of works out that of what I said back when we announced the Cowboy Rides Away tour. I didn't want to do another tour where a structured tour, so I can come in here and I can do a couple of dates here, maybe go home for a month or so, and then come back and do a couple more here and there, And so it kind of works out to where just like I kind of had planned it. And so these guys gave me the opportunity to do it, and so that's why it's here, and I'm looking forward to it.
You could work on your golf game here, too.
Yes,
Thank you.
That's a fact.
George, very exciting news, and welcome back to Las Vegas.
Thank you.
My name is Bart Torres with the Las Vegas Connection Highway Vibe, and just to actually move on to Sean's question a little further, the history that you've had here in Vegas. Do you remember your very first gig here in Vegas? And of all the gigs you played, I don't know if that's jogging the memory, but if so, could you give it kind of a quick recall where that was at?
Yeah, I think it was at the Frontier.
How did it go?
It was tough. It was back when 2 shows a night were common, and I really wasn't ready for that to start with. But then from there, I think we went to the Hilton, and I played the room there and stayed in the Elvis Presley suite, which was awesome. Nice. And did that for quite a few years. And then, of course, we did the movie Pure Country. We filmed it in the Mirage, some of it. And I played the Mirage, played the Nugget, and then I ended up here. And this kind of feels like home now.
Well, the journey continues, and congratulations. It's awesome for Vegas. Thank you.
Thank you.
time for maybe one more. Anybody? All right, well, please thank once again George Strait. Thank all of you here at the MGM Grand Hotel and everybody who's watching online.
Thank you all for coming.
All right, for all of you here, we're going to take about a 10-minute